What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. On behalf of Brit, if you're new here, welcome. Today I am doing a girl talk. Lately I've been doing girl talks. I'm trying to do them at least once a month, where I give some of my subscribers that may be new stylists or braiders the tips and tea on what life is like for me as a braider, or just for my family, friends, clients, and other subscribers that just may find these types of videos entertaining. It may be an interest of yours, or you just curious to know what life is like for me as a braider. I try to do these little girl talks, and today I have a new topic or discussion. Pretty much this will be my 5th video, and I told you guys when video number 5 came I would do a Q&A, so that's what we're doing today. I'm answering your questions. And I sat down today and I went through the DMs and went through my comments again, just to kind of review what I needed to, or narrow down what I was gonna answer today. And when I looked at it, it's a lot of questions, but everybody's pretty much asking the same thing. So a lot of the questions were repetitive. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you guys are asking the same thing over and over, that just means that the people want to know, like, these questions need to be answered. We're going to get straight into today's Q&A, my very first one, y'all. So I'm first question that I found in my DM is a question that people ask me all the time. I recently seen it when I asked you guys to ask me questions, but this is something that I always get, always. So I want to talk to my new braiders about this in case you're wondering, but also just, I guess, clear the minds of the people who just want to know, because sometimes my clients sit in my chair and I don't know if they're just making conversation or if they really want to know. But people always ask, do my fingers ache? Do my fingers cramp? New braiders ask, you know, do you ever have problems with your fingers? Are my wrists going to hurt after a certain period of time? People want to know about carpal tunnel, arthritis, and does braiding bring on cramps in the fingers or whatever? It's a really good question to know, because as a braider, y'all know, we flicking the wrist and we doing all of this all day. This is us all day for hours. You get what I'm saying? So it's natural for a person to think about those type of questions. But honestly, y'all, the answer to that, whether or not my fingers hurt, is no. No, not at all. Now, when I'm first learning a particular style, specifically faux locks, when I first started doing those and I added those to my list of services, maybe about 6 years now, I've been doing faux locks. And then came about goddess locks and bohemian locks and soft locks, all that different stuff. When I first started doing those type of styles, my wrist did ache. And that's mainly because you're doing the client's whole head twice. So if you're familiar with those type of styles, you have to box braid the client's full entire head in individual braids, and then you take each individual braid and wrap around that Marley hair or that spring twist hair to get that lock. So to sit through an appointment and pretty much braid the client's whole hair, then go through each plait and wrap it, when I first started doing that, I was like, what in the world? Because at first I was just braiding like it was the braids. I would dip them, you would leave. But to braid, then wrap, and I'm still trying to learn how to tuck and hide the braid underneath the wrapping and get it all neat. When I was first starting out, my wrist did hurt because I was trying to get my rhythm down and figure out what I was doing. But once I got the swing of it, it was good. I don't have any type of finger cramping at all. Now, what I will say is that I do get frequent, very bad back pain. Now, experiencing back pain can be limited depending on whether or not you sit down. I do sit down a lot while I braid, but because I'm a shorter girl, I'm a little bit on the shorter side, I'm kind of up and down throughout my appointments. So basically, when you're sitting down and your client's sitting down, a lot of times I'm 5'3", so if my client is sitting down and she's a little bit on the taller side, a lot of times she's right here with me as I'm sitting, and then I'm trying to braid and get a grip on her hair when we're almost face to face. So sometimes I'll stand up to kind of get that advantage or that, you know, authority over the braid to get the grip that I need to get. And so because of that, I'm up and down the whole time. When I'm in the back of my client's head, I can kind of sit through that part. But when it's time to get to the top and I'm trying to get a hold of what I'm doing, I will stand. And because of that, I'm on my feet a lot and it causes my back to ache. But I will say, if you want to take those, if you want to kind of bring that issue down a little bit, sit down through majority of your appointments if you can. Also, try to work on your posture. I have a real bad habit of hunching my back and sitting with like a slouch in my back. You want to sit with your back arched as much as possible. Even when you're standing, try to arch your back as you stand and work on that, because your back isn't supposed to be in this position and it can cause your spine or whatever down there to ache after hours and hours of hunching over someone's head. You want to try to arch your back. Now, to help me with that, I ended up getting this posture corrector. I was on the phone with my aunt one day and I was telling her about my frequent back pains getting done doing hair. After days and days, maybe 3 days consecutively of doing hair, I would just be in bad pain, wouldn't want to get out of bed, or some days I would realize if I did braids all day, every day for 3 days straight in a row, and on that 4th day I decided to rest, on a day where I'm not doing hair, I would still experience back pain. And my auntie went on Amazon and brought me this posture corrector. I could not find it, y'all. I have not seen it in about 2 weeks. Recently, me and my sister did some general cleaning around the house and I had to move around a lot of my hair supplies and stuff. Cannot find it. I wanted to show it to you physically and put it on for you to show you how it works, but I'll try to find it on Amazon and put it on the screen. But it's very similar to a waist trainer or a waist shaper. So you have the part that goes around your waist, but in addition to the part that goes around your waist, you have these straps that are almost like a backpack. It reminds me of putting a backpack on. So I'll strap in my waist trainer part, snap that in, and then put on the shoulder part, and then it forces me to keep my back in a position that won't cause my back to ache. So as far as the fingers and the wrist and the different things that y'all were asking me about, I don't experience anything like that. If you're a braider and you're watching this and you experience it, maybe you can talk to those people that wanted to know down in the comments about fingers aching or what you do for those type of issues, but I don't really experience that to really tell you guys what to do or how I deal with it. The second question that you guys asked me was a really big one, and this question right here is the one I said could have been split into 2 different questions. I could have made this question number 2 and number 3 because it's so much to cover under this one topic. But what I decided to do is to make a whole entire video for this particular topic. I am going to answer a few of the questions that pertain to this topic because, like I said, many people ask this question in many different ways. So I know it's something that the people want to know. But I want to do, because this is a series and I'm going to continue to talk about different topics, I want to make this its own topic for its own separate video. I don't know if it's going to be my next girl talk or the girl talk after that. I want to kind of organize my thoughts because some of these questions or some of the stuff that falls under this category, I'm still trying to figure out for myself. I'm still trying to do better at and work on as a stylist myself. So when I get all the right information together, I figure out the right way to talk to y'all about it or to put the advice out to y'all, there will be a video on it, and the topic is pricing. So many people have asked how to make a price list, how to manage your money. Some people want to go full-time with braiding. They want to know how, based on the money you bring in, are you able to pay bills, save? What amount of money goes back into the business for buying products and equipment? So many people want to know what can you make from braiding hair? Like what's the most you can make? How can I offer my services and put prices out there where I feel like I'm getting the money for my time, where it's worth my while, where I'm able to live off of this and make a living off of hair, but not knock people off, knock people's head off. I have some people that have asked me, you know, I recognize some of your prices and I see you don't charge $200-300, and I would love to be as affordable as you, but hair is all that I do. Hair is all that I want to do. And how am I able to pay bills, or how can I make this price list, form my price list to be in a way where I can live off of it? And that's a really good question, y'all. I still work full-time where hair is a side hustle for me, so it's really hard for me to give you guys advice on how to manage a full-blown lifestyle all of my bills and all of that off of just hair when I don't do it myself. But I am leaning towards that within the next year or two. That is a short-term, a very short-term goal for me, to not work for anybody, and to be self-employed. So that's something that I am working on for in the future. So I am, of course, starting to figure out what my budget will be, what my pricing is going to have to be. I'm definitely going to have to go up higher, and I'm forming all of that now. I have a whole journal notebook organizing my life in order to go towards that self-employed lifestyle that I'm leaning toward. Any entrepreneur watching this knows that a good percentage of the money you make has to go back into your business. You have to spend money in order to make money. I've never had to show up to a makeup appointment with foundation or concealer. For some reason, when I come, they just have all of the colors to choose from to match me or figure it out. Like, it's so crazy because there's so many complexions and skin tones and stuff that makeup artists, MUAs, have to work with. So their inventory is way broader than ours as stylists, because pretty much what works for one style as far as braids is going to work for many of them. Like when it comes to shine and gem, mousses, pretty much all of that can be used across the board for different hair types. But I said all that to say that a MUA normally doesn't ask you to bring your own makeup. They provide the makeup. So a lot of the money that they bring in, they have to budget or set aside to go to keep those products stocked or whatever. And when it comes to getting your nails done, you don't come bringing your own acrylic, or you don't come bringing your own gel powders and stuff. They have all of that stuff. All of that stuff has to be budgeted in. So when it comes to being a stylist, you guys, you have to have money set aside. Now, some braiders don't. Some braiders make you bring your own shine and gem. I follow a lot of braiders on social media just because we do the same thing. We have the same interests. So a lot of my followers and a lot of people that I watch on a day-to-day basis are stylists as well. And I see some stylists, they have a whole list when you go on their page of the products you have to bring to your hair appointment. They tell you the shine and gem you have to get, the edge control you have to get, the type of hair you have to bring, all of that. I personally don't feel like you should be bringing products to your hair appointment. The only thing that I require my clients to bring is their hair. And I even want to get away from that one day, just provide the hair that I want to use, which I'll get into that with the next question. But I said all of that to say you want to set aside money for that. And with what I do, what strategy that I use that has been working for me is I use my tip money. So tip money, because it's money that's unexpected. When I book a client, I don't know if she's going to give me let's just say her hair costs $85. I don't know if she's going to give me 85 or if she's going to give me 90 or if she's going to round it off and give me 100. Some of my clients tip me $5. Some of them tip me 10. Some of them tip me 20. It just depends on the day. But because I never know what I'm gonna pocket from an appointment, I don't count it into what I'm gonna spend. How I told y'all, I pay for my medical expenses, I pay for my hair, I pay for my nails out of the money I make from hair. I never say, oh, I have a client coming today and I'm charging her 85, but I know I'm about to get 100 from her, so let me go ahead and book my nail appointment knowing it's gonna be $100 because I'm about to get $100. I never do anything like that. I book the appointment, I know what I'm gonna bring in, and then when if the client decides she wants to tip me, I put that money aside. If it's a Cash App, if it's a Zelle, however it hits my account or it hits my pocket, if it's cash, I put the tip money aside. $5, $10, $15. I let it all build up. And in about 7 days, I let it build for about 7 days, $5, $10, $15 by the end of the week. Most weeks will get me about $60 to $75 in tips, okay? And then at the end of the week, when I have that $60, $75, I take that money. I do not touch my tips all week. The money I make from hair, I use for whatever I want to use it on. Swipe my card however I please, but I calculate the money in tips, leave that to the side, and then I take that to the hair store and I stock up on supplies every week. Once a week, I'm getting mousse, nail glues for my lock styles, extra combs, brushes, cleaning supplies, anything, shining gems, edge controls, whatever I'm low on for that week. And a lot of times I don't spend the full amount that I collected that week in tips, but that's how I do it. I don't bank on it. I don't grow attachment to it. I don't feel like I get it in my hand and it's running hot and I gotta go spend it because it's tips and I wasn't expecting it anyway. That's the money I use to go back into my business. So the more my clients tip me, the better stuff they get, the more I'm stocked. That's the way I look at it. And the less tips I get, some weeks are much rougher than others. That's why when I do have those $60, $75 weeks where I have a lot of money, I'll get multiple oil sheens, multiple mousses. Y'all have seen my vlogs where I'll go into the hair store and I have a whole bunch of stuff when I come back in a haul. And then sometimes I don't have as much stuff when I come back from a haul. That's because the tips weren't where they need to be, where they needed to be that week, or I was stocked up from the previous week, and I had a lot of money to come in from tips the previous week, and I didn't have to spend that much that week. However the cookie may crumble, I pay for my products with tip money, okay? When you're first starting out, let's just say you're a college student right now, you're doing hair on a college campus, or you're a high school student like I was when I first started braiding. You're doing hair and you're doing a lot of your peers' hair, and they're working fast food jobs. They don't have a whole lot of money to tip you $10, $15. They got just enough money to get their hair done. They already buying the hair and doing whatever else they need to do as it pertains to school. If you're not making enough money in tips to keep that stuff stocked up on, I would just say maybe $5 from every appointment. Whatever you're charging, if you're not getting tipped very well, try to set aside $5 from every appointment. Let it build up for a week, and then go get your products every week. But that's that on that. I could talk about that topic all day long. Pricing is a big one, because if you're braiding, you should love to braid. I know I do. I love braiding, but ultimately, because it's a service and it brings in money, we're here for the money. A lot of people that braid want to know, or that are interested in braiding want to know about the money. Pricing is really, really big, y'all. So I understand, and I will be giving y'all a more detailed video. That was just impromptu, y'all. I'm going off no notes, no bullets. I'm just, I looked over the questions before I got on camera, and I'm just talking, like just casually having girl talk. But I want to organize that video to the T and give y'all the 411. So just stay tuned for that. We're going to talk more about the money. This next question is another big one. My friend asked me under my last girl talk. It was a question she left in the comments for me to answer for this video, and I'm so glad she did. A lot of times when my clients haven't had braids in a while, or they're trying a new style, or they've never had braids before coming to me for the first time, they get in the hair store, they're overwhelmed because it's so many options. Brittany, what do I do? What do I get? What do you like? So question number 3 is, what are my favorite brands of hair to work with? Whether your hair store has 20 different brands, 10 different brands, 50 different brands, y'all, in reality, there are hundreds of different brands of braiding hair. I can go on and on and on about the good ones, because there are more good than bad. I've been doing this for a while. I've touched many brands of braiding hair. So it's really, really hard to narrow it down to a few, but I did because I want to be really specific. I want to give y'all what y'all need. So I tried to pick just 5. Originally, when I was answering this question, I had a list of 10. Then I said, nah, Brittany, go ahead and narrow it down to 5. And I honestly feel like even with just 5 favorites, y'all can go into the store and at least find one. If you find one, you're good. If you find one of these 5, you good. So I'm gonna give y'all my 5 favorite top braiding hair brands of all time. Now, what I will say before I get into them is all of these brands are pre-stretched. I no longer work with the regular traditional braiding hair. I'll put that on the screen right now. I should have went in my little hair stash and picked this stuff up so I can show y'all on the screen. But instead, since I don't have the time right now to physically go find all of this stuff for y'all, I'm gonna just put stuff on the screen. But yeah, I don't work with the traditional braiding hair, that 99-cent pack or $1.99 pack that we grew up with. It still works just fine. Recently, I had a client to bring it to me, and I used it. It still gets the job done. Her hair didn't look any different than my clients that use the pre-stretched hair. But with the pre-stretched hair, it just saves me so much time as a braider. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, braider to braider, or also if your clients that are watching that are looking to get braids soon, or you get braids often, it just skips the extra step for your stylist when the hair comes already pre-stretched. That hair that we used to get for $1, $1.99, it comes cut straight across. It's not detangled and, you know, stretched to its best ability. The pre-stretched hair, you don't have to go through the process of stretching it out. You can just pull it away from the pack and immediately started braiding. So what I will say is all 5 of my favorite brands are all pre-stretched brands. Honestly, 2021 going forward, nobody should be. They shouldn't even be selling that 99-cent hair no more. We just need to go the pre-stretched way or no way. It's just easier, okay? So all 5 of these brands are pre-stretched. The very first brand that I love to work with, my top 5 out of all 5. Meaning, if you go to the hair store today or tomorrow and you're about to get your hair done and you just happen to see all 5 of these brands in your hair store and you still stuck because I done gave y'all all 5 of these, choose this one, okay? The very first one that I'm gonna give y'all today is called Ruwa. R-U-W-A. Talking too fast. It is called Ruwa and it moves like water. It is so slick, so sleek. I probably need to do a whole nother video on just braiding hair because oh my goodness, I can go on and on about this brand and the other brands too, but I'm gonna try to keep it simple. Ruwa hair is very slick. It's very smooth. It's easy for my hands to run through. I love it as a braider. I'm gonna tell you why my clients love it as well. For me, the main reason, the only reason, well, I won't say the only reason, but the biggest reason why I love it is because it's unlike any other brand of braiding hair that I've worked with as far as my hands going through it. Sometimes as braiders, we get locked into motion or into our vibe and into our rotation, and sometimes we forget to run our hands through, and by the time we get halfway through the braid, we have to do this little detangling motion where we're running our hands down through it. It don't matter how much I'm braiding, how many times I forget to pull my fingers out of the braid as I'm braiding, I get down to the bottom of it, it still just moves like water. It's very slick. That's my main reason to work with it. It's minimal shedding, minimal like that stringiness, those frays. Sometimes you get done with braiding a person's hair and you get that stringy, like just messy, tacky, cheap hair that you gotta take the scissors up and down 30, 40 times to get all of those flyaways out. This hair is just smooth, y'all. It's like water. I believe it's some type of water or like blue branding on the pack to show y'all it's like water. Okay, my clients love it because when you dip it, because it's so flowy, so silky and smooth, when you dip it in hot water, oh, I wish I had it to demonstrate. I'm gonna do a video and just demonstrate the different braiding hairs you can work with. That's coming up, y'all. That might be the next girl talk. But you can when you dip it, it dips really, really fine because the hair is so fine itself. When you dip it, oh my gosh, your braids just move like no other. That Ruwa hair is just everything. It's very light. My clients love it. They be like, I see why you say you love it. They can pull it up right away. It's not really heavy on their hair, no matter how long they get their plaits, how thick they get them. When they use that Ruwa hair, they say they're able to shower, sleep, style it however they want. The hair is just light, silky, smooth, and airy. Like, I don't know, I just love the Ruwa hair. I love it. What I will say is because it's so fine, so defined, so pre-stretched to the T, so silky and smooth, the packs are very flat, very thin. So with these other brands that I'm going to give to y'all, that I'm going to name, I probably tell my clients to bring 3 packs of those. And this is another reason why you should get away from the regular traditional Canker line if you haven't already. The Canker line I told you used to be 99 cents or $1. With those packs, I would have my clients to bring about 9 to 10 packs to their braid appointments. With the pre-stretched hair normally comes with 3 bundles per pack. So the regular Canker line, you get 1 bundle in a pack for like $1.99. With the pre-stretched hair, you get 3 bundles in a pack for like $5.99 or $6.99 depending on the brand. Well, with the 3 bundle packs, because you get more hair in 1 pack, you only need about 3 packs. So with the other 4 brands that I'm gonna tell y'all, I normally have my clients from majority of the styles that I do, I have them to bring 3 packs. That's 9 bundles. 9 bundles can normally get a full head of braids done. With the Ruwa hair, I tell my clients to bring 4 or 5 packs. So it's a little bit less that comes in the pack, if that makes any sense, but it's worth every dime, y'all. If you're one of those people that love braids but don't like to wear them down, you love to pull them up, love to do different styles, you love for your hair to just flow and move in a ponytail, that Ruwa is the one, okay? I'm not gonna stay on it for 10 minutes, y'all. I'm trying to not ramble, but that's the one, okay? Number two is Freetress pre-stretched hair. Now, be very specific when purchasing pre-stretched hair by Freetress, because they have 3 or 4 different brands within the pre-stretch, like 3 or 4 different types of pre-stretch braiding hair. Freetress sells a variety of different things, y'all. They sell the crochet locks. I do a lot of crochet passion twists with Freetress, a lot of crochet locks, a lot of my goddess locks and bohemian locks. I use the Freetress curly hair to feed that in. Freetress has a lot of different braiding hair. With the pre-stretched hair, they have this main specific brand that they sell that's really, really good. But the one that I like that ranges in my top 2 that I tell a lot of people to buy is the Clean Therapy by Freetress. Not the regular one, but the Clean Therapy by Freetress. The Clean Therapy is the one that I personally use for my own braids the most when I get it, because my hair is very sensitive to canker line. I'm just getting over a breakout from having braids in my hair and the hair not being clean. The Clean Therapy hair is pre-rinsed in vinegar. I don't know if it's apple cider vinegar or regular vinegar. I would have to read the back of the pack, or you guys look it up and see. But it's pre-rinsed, pre-washed, and they go through the process of pre-stretching it and all that jazz that all of the other pre-stretch companies do, but they take the extra mile with the Clean Therapy hair, and they clean it and rinse it for you. So when you put it in your hair, if you're one of those people that get a very itchy, flaky scalp when you get braids, I would suggest Clean Therapy for you, even over Rua. Rua is my favorite, but it's not pre-clean. You would still have to do that apple cider vinegar rinse if you have a really flaky, irritable scalp. With the Clean Therapy, it's really still good hair. Some of the same main qualities that Rua has, it's just pre-rinsed. The third brand that I like to work with when I'm braiding is Spectra by Easy Braid, or Easy Braid by Spectra. I'll put it on the screen, y'all. This is a really good brand of hair. I just discovered it maybe like probably 2 years ago, going on 3 years. And it's really, really good hair. The only difference I would say between this one, why it ranks at 3 versus 2 or 1, is because it's a lot coarser. It's very thick, and this is one that my clients prefer over the first 2 that I named. Rua and the Freetress Clean Therapy is more of a thin, silkier, smoother texture. And as a braider on our end, that's what we like to work with, of course, because our fingers are in it. But with the Easy Braid, it's more so a preference for the client. So if you're looking for longer lasting braids, if you have a 4C curl pattern, a very tight, coarse hair texture, and you like for your braids to last, with the Rua and the Freetress, your hair will last. But once you start getting that new growth at the root, or you start getting like little pieces of your hair that might grow out of the braid, if you're one of those people that don't tie your hair up at night or keep your braids in for months at a time, I would suggest the Easy Braid by Spectra. It's a lot thicker, a lot coarser. It can kind of hide and tuck away those flaws in your hair, or those dead ends, or maybe like those coarse ends. Also, when it grows out at the root and you start to get that new growth, your hair texture that might be a little coarser at the root, it'll blend in better with the Spectra hair with the texture of hair that it is, versus the Rua or the Freetress Clean Therapy with it being like a silkier brand to work with. It's just more of like a camouflage. It looks more natural. The hair is just better for natural hair. Number 4 is one that is really, really big in the braid industry. A lot of braiders only use this hair. I never understood why. I won't say I never understood why. I know why they love the hair. I love it too, but there's so many other good brands, such as the ones I named prior to this one. But what I was gonna say is that a lot of braiders use this and this only, so you should be familiar with this brand. The only thing that I will say is that some braiders still use the original version of this brand. This brand has come out with a pre-stretch version where you no longer have to go through the work of the original version. I'll put the original version on the screen right now. That is the expressions that comes in, like, I want to say like a 64 inch, I don't know, but it used to come in this super long pack. It'll be braided all the way through. I think this was the only brand of hair back in the day that would come braided in the pack. Y'all gotta know expressions. A lot of the African braiding shops use it. A lot of your goat braiders use this hair. When they tell you to bring your hair, or if they're supplying the hair, 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be expressions. It's a really, really good brand of hair. But when it first came out, it was a lot. You had to cut it, maybe 1 or 2 packs to get the job done, because there's so much hair in the pack. But you would have to cut it, tease it, feather it, and all of that. Now they have a pre-stretched version of this hair, and it is one of my top 5 favorite brands of all times. Now that they have the pre-stretched version, Before they came out with the pre-stretch, I didn't like expressions as much. It was just too much work, way more work than the $1 or $1.99 packs of hair. It's just overwhelming taking it out, and oh, I wish I had some right now to show y'all. But we'll go over examples and demonstrations in another video. But the pre-stretched version of this hair is really, really great. And the 5th brand that I like to work with is number 5 for me, because it isn't as grand as the first 4 brands, but I love it when I'm doing my super long styles, when my clients like to get those knee length or thigh length or ankle length, like the super nasty long braids that I offer that are trending on social media right now. Some girls are just really loving the really long braids. This Q Milky Way braiding hair, it comes in some of the longest length that I have seen in braiding hair, period. All of these brands offer a good length, but some of the Q brand has the longest lengths that I've seen. I think one of their packs goes to like 84 inches. The store nearest me goes to like 72 inches, I want to say. I'll put a video on the screen or like a picture of the packs on the screen, but they sell some really long hair. They sell some really long hair. A lot of times with the other pre-stretched hair, if my clients aren't able to find the Q, I'll tell them to get like a double amount of those other brands that I just named, and I'll just feed in here as I go to get it as long as they want it. With the Q hair, I can braid the hair from top to bottom and get it all the way to their knee or all the way to their thigh, as long as they want, because the hair comes really, really long, and that's why it's number 5 for me. The 4th question, you guys, is something someone asked me, which I felt was a really good question. Not a lot of people ask me about this, so I thought this is a really nice question that I should answer, just in case anyone else is wondering. And the question was, home stylist or travel stylist? I have a subscriber here on YouTube that's trying to decide. She's just starting out. I think she's 19 or 20. Hasn't got her own place yet, but she does have a car, and she's trying to decide whether she should take clients at home at her mom's house or if she should travel to her clients. And she asked me, knowing that I do hair from home, but I do travel to some of my clients if they ask. She asked me which one I prefer, which one I suggest. So there's a lot of pros and cons for both, and I'm just gonna try to sum it up in a nutshell, because I feel like this video is already probably getting really, really long with me giving y'all so many details in those first 3 questions, but those questions were so good, like I had to give y'all the tea. But for this one, I would say, to answer your question, home. I prefer home over traveling. I traveled the whole first 2 years, the majority of the time. The first 2 years I was in Atlanta, I went to majority of my clients because I was still trying to get established and stuff and try to set up the best environment for my clients to come to. And now that I'm all settled, I love working from home. Traveling sometimes has its benefits, like as far as getting a change of scenery. You're home all the time. This is where you eat, this is where you hang, this is where you sleep, this is your sanctuary, your peace of mind. And you don't want to let everybody into that, all of these energies and spirits and stuff that we dealing with these days. But you just, for me, work is getting out of bed, getting dressed, brushing my teeth, and going out into the living room, versus sometimes traveling, especially in a big city like Atlanta. A lot of my clients are 20 minutes or more. My closest client is probably 10 minutes away that I've done. Everybody else, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes when I was traveling up to 45 minutes, and that's just one way. So just imagine a 45-minute client, that's an hour there and an hour back when you round it off. That's gas. The money you're making during here, you got to make sure that's enough to fill your tank up. That's 2 hours out of your day in addition to the 4 or 5 hours that you're going to be in that location. To me, working from home is just better. I have more control. I can tell you what goes on, who you can bring, how long you can be here. I don't know, it's so much that I can talk about when it comes to this subject, but I prefer braiding over traveling, especially as a new stylist, especially if you're under your mom's roof still, and you're still trying to get the hang of braids. You got people that know that you're new that's gonna want to take advantage of you, that may want to play with your money, that may want to play with your time, that may want to run over you because they know that you're new and bring people, extra people. You living with your mom might offer you that safe haven of protection until you can master your skill and really get comfortable with what you're doing. Going out on the road, people will play with you. I've been in people's houses for travel appointments. I gotta do story times. At some point, I gotta make time to get on this camera and talk to y'all about some of the stuff that I've witnessed and went through with people. Y'all, I've been to people's house and they've gotten into full-blown fist fights. I was at a girl's house doing her hair, and the girl whose hair I was doing was saying something slick out of her mouth to her cousin or her auntie, who was also in the room, and her auntie came and attacked her, literally started swinging on her as I was braiding her hair, knocked her out the chair with a braid in her hand. I've been in situations where I'm doing the wife hair and she arguing with the husband. I've been in situations where the kids running around, they can't get the kids to sit down. I'm going to people's home. You never know what to expect at home. You have more control over that. I'm not trying to scare you or discourage you if it is more in your comfort zone to travel and leave home. I don't know what your home circumstances may be. It's all about where you are. I'm in a situation where I live with my sister. My sister respects my money. She's all for me grinding and getting where I need to be in life. She supports my hustle. She's a client of mine too. My sister has dreads, and she gets her hair done whenever she pleases. And I just happen to be in a blessed situation where my sister is okay with people coming in and out. So if you're in a situation where you're living with family or living with a roommate that's okay with it, take your clients at home. It'll save you time. I just feel like it'll be more safe. Some people say letting any and everybody in your home is not safe. Letting everybody know where you stay is not safe. But I don't know. For me, when you weigh the pros and cons, being at home versus traveling for me is a little bit better. We can talk more about that in videos to come. I might get together a little story time. Y'all let me know if that topic is something y'all want to hear more about. But just to straight up answer the question for you without too much rambling, work from home, child, if you can. Stay under your mama's roof as long as you can before getting out there and traveling. I enjoy, like, and that's the thing. Listen, we can talk about it all day long. I do love traveling though. I have went to people's homes, beautiful homes. They've made meals for me. They've allowed me to chill out after appointments, fix me drinks. Like, it's been good, but it's also the bad ones that make you like, come to my house next time and come along. Question number 5 is one that I feel like I've already addressed in my very first video to this series. I'll put the cover of the video on the screen right now. I gotta figure out how to link videos in current videos. Like, some YouTubers, while they're talking, they'll link other videos on the screen for you to click on and go watch it. I gotta figure out how to do that feature, so if I refer to a video I've already filmed, you guys can go back and watch that one if you haven't already. But I've already addressed this question in a video in this series. I want you guys to go back and get more details on that if you really want the answer to this question. But briefly just answering it before I wrap this video up. I feel like I've been talking for an hour. I hope this video isn't too long. But if people want to know how to build a clientele, they're just starting out, they're brand new, and it's really slow picking up clients. How do I get someone to take a chance with me? How do I know they're gonna like my work? I'm not even all the way confident in my work. How do I convince someone to let me practice on them? Or how did I get to where I was from being a young teenager, knowing I liked to braid, knowing that it was something that I wanted to do, but going from not having anybody to braid to now doing hair every day? I would just say social media, y'all. To sum it up in a nutshell, y'all really got to go watch that video. I talked for 45 minutes on kicking off a business or getting a business started, and it was so many different subjects or tips. I think it was 10 tips under one category of starting up a business. Y'all gotta go watch that. But just to sum it up in a nutshell, the thing that has helped me the most, if I can just give out one big thing that has gotten my growth to where it is today, is social media. Those of y'all who have recently followed me or went and found my Instagram page through being a subscriber here on YouTube, y'all might notice that I do not post in my story on Braids by Brittany that often. I don't even post pictures that often, and that's because a lot of my work has become very redundant. I'm realizing I do braids, like, or sometimes I'm just getting them in and out. I'm so busy now that I don't have time, or I don't stop and say, let me get your picture real quick. Or, but when you're starting out, that's something that you can't be shy about. You can't be lazy about. When you finish those clients, you got to take pictures. You got to post. You got to have your clients to post. Social media is the way right now. It is the wave right now. It is helping a lot of people get on top. If you can take a good picture, have maybe 5 or 6 people, when you're done with them within the next couple months, if you're able to get 6 clients that you feel like you really mastered, really did a good job, and get pictures out, I promise you it's gonna bring you clients back. You have to post, you have to promote, you have to have your clients to post and promote. To me right now, social media, to answer that question, social media really has helped me grow my business, branding. I don't know. Like I say, I talked about it already, and I don't want to get started and go on for an hour about something I know I've addressed. But for the most part, y'all, taking pictures, as far as getting people to take a chance on you, when I started out, I was doing my own hair. That's how I got clients, keeping my hair braided and keeping my hair looking a certain way, and then going out in public and people being like, girl, who did your hair? And then me giving out cards like that. But if you can't really part, can't see the back of your hair, you're not comfortable doing your own hair, a really close friend, if they really mess with you and rock with you, should be able to support your business enough for you to do their hair for free, for them to go around, or for you to take some pictures. Be like, girl, you can take it out as soon as you get ready. If you don't really like it, I just need to practice. I just need to take pictures. Getting a mannequin, one of the cheapest mannequins on Amazon right now is like $16.99. Do some bomb braids on that, practice on that. Show your friends or your neighbor or your mom or a sibling, I did this on the mannequin, let me try it on you. Try to get somebody you can really trust. Like I say, even if they take it out, do their hair for free and get a few pictures and promote it on social media. And that's really all I can say for that question, y'all. It's information out there. But that's pretty much it for today's girl talk. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Just a little review. You guys asked me, does braiding hurt my fingers? You know, what type of pain does braiding cause my body? What was the second question? My favorite types of braid, no, pricing, how to figure out a price list, or how to make the most of your braiding, make the most out of your braiding business. The third one was my favorite brands of braiding hair. The fourth one was, y'all, why is my mind going blank? Question number 4 was whether or not I like to travel or work from home more. And then question number 5 was how did I grow my braiding business, or what's the quickest way to get clients? And I feel like I answered all of those to the best of my ability. If I didn't, you can ask me any further questions down below, and I'll make sure I interact with you guys and further elaborate on anything that may have left you hanging. In addition to that, if you have anything else that you may want to know in future videos to come, let me know. I'm definitely going to make plans to do like a demonstration video on working with some of my favorite braiding hairs to show you guys why I like them. That just came across my mind as I was speaking on it. Other than that, I would have went ahead and did that for this video, but there'll be a separate video with me working with some of my favorite braiding hairs, showing you guys how they work and why I love them. And then I'll also do that pricing video, talking to you guys about how to budget, how to price, and how to make the most of your money, and how to take the money you make and put it back into your business and still have money to take care of life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next video.